Big money explodes. It arrives in concentrated bursts that shatter previous financial ceilings. It comes as windfalls, as sudden opportunities, as quantum leaps that skip over the incremental steps that regular money requires. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. And this is the big money explosion, an activation for massive wealth manifestation. Big money operates differently than regular money. This distinction matters more than almost anything else you will learn about wealth creation. And yet it is rarely discussed. Most financial teaching, even most manifestation teaching, treats money as a single uniform substance. Get more of it, attract it, accumulate it, align with it, become it. As if all money behaves the same way. It does not. Regular money trickles. It flows in predictable streams, paychecks, expected income, gradual accumulation over decades. Regular money is patient, methodical, slow. You can chart its course, you can project its growth. It follows rules that accountants understand and financial planners can model. Big money explodes. It arrives in concentrated bursts that shatter previous financial ceilings. It comes as windfalls, as sudden opportunities, as quantum leaps that skip over the incremental steps that regular money requires. Big money does not add to your wealth, it multiplies it. Big money does not improve your financial situation, it transforms it beyond recognition. This activation is about triggering that explosion. Over the next hour, you are going to learn exactly what big money is, why it behaves so differently from regular money, and how to position yourself as a target for its explosive arrival. You are going to use the power of visualization to construct the internal conditions that attract big money. You are going to use affirmations to broadcast the frequency that big money responds to. And you're going to understand, perhaps for the first time, why some people experience sudden, massive wealth, while others accumulate slowly or struggle indefinitely. The difference is not luck. It is not circumstances. It is not even effort in the traditional sense. The difference is understanding the explosive nature of big money and aligning yourself with it. Big money is looking for channels. It is intelligent energy seeking expression, seeking individuals who are ready to receive it, seeking consciousness that matches its frequency. Most people are invisible to big money because they are tuned to the frequency of regular money, the slow trickle, the gradual accumulation, the patient building. There is nothing wrong with regular money. But if you want your financial life to transform rather than merely improve, you need to understand explosion. An explosion requires three elements: fuel, compression, and ignition. In the physics of big money, these translate to specific internal conditions. The fuel is your capacity to hold wealth, your expanded self-concept, your belief in deserving massive abundance. The compression is the focused intensity of your intention, concentrated, pressurized, ready to release. And the ignition is the precise use of imagination and declaration that triggers the explosive manifestation. Visualization is your detonator. Affirmation is your fuel injection system. And by the end of this activation, the explosion will be underway. Let me show you how big money actually works. In nuclear physics, there is a concept called critical mass. It is the minimum amount of fissile material needed to sustain a chain reaction. Below critical mass, the reaction fizzles. Atoms split, but the energy dissipates without building. Above critical mass, the reaction becomes self-sustaining. Each split atom triggers more splits, which triggers more splits, and the energy multiplies exponentially until it becomes an explosion of almost unimaginable force. Your wealth consciousness works the same way. Below a certain threshold of belief, expectation, and energetic alignment, your financial efforts fizzle. You take action, but the results dissipate. You make progress, but it does not build on itself. You earn money, but it leaks away as fast as it arrives. Above that threshold, everything changes. Your efforts begin to compound. Opportunities trigger more opportunities. Success attracts more success. Money flows in, and instead of dissipating, it attracts more money. The reaction becomes self-sustaining. What was linear becomes exponential. This threshold is what I call the big money frequency. And once you cross it, explosion becomes inevitable. The masters of wealth understood this principle, even if they lacked the physics metaphor to describe it. Andrew Carnegie spoke of the white heat of desire required to manifest riches. Napoleon Hill documented how thought held with sufficient intensity and persistence transmutes into its physical equivalent. Neville Goddard taught that imagination applied with the feeling of the wish fulfilled rearranges reality to match the imagined state. In fact, he taught a specific technique that required an explosion. He often made references to orgasms in describing his specific state of generating a manifestation. They were all describing the same phenomenon, the critical mass that triggers financial explosion. Your work with imagination is the process of adding fissile material to your reactor. Each time you vividly imagine yourself in possession of big money, seeing it, feeling it, knowing it, you are adding to the mass. Each mental image builds on the previous ones. Each session of focused imagination contributes to the accumulation. Your work with affirmation is the process of accelerating the particles. Each declaration of wealth, spoken with conviction, felt in your body, believed in your bones, increases the energy in the system. The words are not magic spells, they are accelerators driving the internal state toward the velocity required for ignition. Imagination plus affirmation plus accumulated intensity equals critical mass, and critical mass equals explosion. You've been building toward this moment without fully realizing it. Every book you've read about wealth consciousness, every video you've watched, every activation you've listened to, every meditation you've done, every affirmation you've spoken, all of it has been adding to your accumulation. You are closer to critical mass than you've ever been. This activation is designed to push you over the threshold. Let me be specific about what we're activating. Big money is 6 figures arriving in single transactions. It is 7 figures accumulating in accounts you once thought would be forever empty. It is 8 figures becoming conceivable for someone who once worried about making rent. Big money is opening your banking app and seeing a number that makes you laugh out loud. Not because it's wrong, but because it's so far beyond what you once accepted as your ceiling. Big money is paying off all debt in one stroke. It is buying the house outright. It is investing amounts that generate passive income exceeding what your job used to pay. It is giving gifts that change people's lives because you can give at that scale and barely notice the impact of your accounts. Big money is freedom, crystallized into numbers. It is options multiplied beyond counting. It is the ability to say yes to what matters and no to what does not, with no financial pressure distorting the decision. This is what is coming for you. Some of it will arrive through channels you can currently imagine. Sudden opportunities that appear from nowhere. Connections that lead to unexpected windfalls. Ideas that prove more valuable than you could have predicted. Big money is creative. It finds paths that your logical mind would never think to look for. Your job is to be ready to receive it, regardless of the channel through which it flows. And your readiness is built through the skillful use of imagination and declaration. See yourself with big money. See it concretely and specifically. See the account balances, see the assets, see yourself moving through your day with the freedom that big money provides. Make these images vivid. Make them detailed. Make them so real that your nervous system cannot distinguish the imagination from memory. This is the practice. This is the method. This is the technology of wealth that the masters have always taught. Speak yourself wealthy. Declare your abundance as present fact. Affirm your status as someone to whom big money flows continuously. Feel the words landing in your body as truth. Let the affirmations reprogram your subconscious assumptions about what is possible for you. This is ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience converging on the same conclusion. What you imagine with feeling and declare with conviction becomes the template for your manifest reality. Big money is ready to explode into your life. Your imagination and your words are the triggers. Before big money can arrive, you must become someone capable of holding it. This is the place that most people miss. They focus on attracting wealth without first expanding their capacity to contain it. And so even when big money arrives, it slips through their fingers that were never trained to grip it. Think of yourself as a vessel. Right now, that vessel has a certain capacity, determined by your beliefs about yourself, your comfort level with large numbers, your identity as a wealthy or struggling person. Ken Honda called this our money container. Money that exceeds this capacity cannot stay. It will find ways to leave no matter how it arrived. This is why lottery winners often end up broke. The money exceeded their container. Without an expanded capacity to hold it, the wealth drained away until it matched the size of vessel that had always held it. Your container is about to expand. Close your eyes for a moment, just a moment, and feel the edges of your current financial identity. Feel where you believe your limit is, the amount that feels realistic for you, the ceiling that you have unconsciously accepted as the maximum available to someone like you. Have you found it? Now watch it dissolve. That limit was never real. It was a construction built from past experiences, inherited beliefs, cultural conditioning, and repetitive thought. It felt solid, but it was made of nothing more substantial than accumulated assumption. And assumptions can be replaced. You are now someone with no financial ceiling. Repeat that internally. I am someone with no financial ceiling. You are now someone who is comfortable with massive amounts of money. Feel what that feels like. Feel the ease of it, the normalcy of it. Large sums do not intimidate you because you are someone for whom large sums are natural. You are now someone whose container expands automatically to match whatever abundance arrives. No matter how big the influx, you have the space for it. No matter how sudden the windfall, you can integrate it. The expansion is not theoretical. It is happening in you now as you read these words, as you allow them to penetrate, as you accept them as descriptions of who you are becoming, who you have already become. The container is ready. Now let us fill it. In your imagination, picture a vault. This is your personal vault, a space that exists in the quantum field holding wealth that is already yours, but is yet to manifest in physical form. This vault is real. It's not a metaphor. In the dimension where thoughts are things and consciousness creates matter, this vault exists and it is full. See the vault now, massive doors, gleaming metal, a mechanism waiting for your combination. The vault has always been here. It was built the moment you were born, an inheritance of infinite potential, a treasury of possibility waiting for you to claim it. Most people never find their vault because they do not know to look for it. Most people never open their vault because they do not know they have the combination. You have the combination. The combination is your unique energetic signature, your beliefs, your feelings, your declared identity as a wealthy being. When these align, the vaults open. When your internal state matches the frequency of the wealth inside, the lock releases and the contents become available. Feel the tumblers clicking into place. The first tumbler, you believe you deserve massive wealth, not because you have earned it through suffering, but because you exist. Your worthiness is not in question. It was established the moment you came into being. Click. The second tumbler, you expect wealth to flow to you. Expectation is different from hope. Hope looks up. Expectation looks out. scanning the horizon for the arrival it knows is coming. You expect big money the way you expect the sun to rise. Click. The third tumbler, you have released all resistance to receiving. No part of you is blocking the flow. No hidden belief is sabotaging the arrival. You are open, clear and ready. Click. The vault door swings open. What you see inside defies calculation. Currency from every nation stacked in towers, gold in bars and coins, gleaming, gems catching light and throwing rainbows, certificates representing ownership of assets, companies, properties, digital displays showing accounts with numbers that stretch across the screen. This is your wealth. It has been accumulating here, waiting for you to open the door. Now watch as this wealth begins to move. It is flowing out of the vault, streaming towards you, entering your energy field, integrating with your being. Feel the weight of it, the warmth of it, the reality of it. This is the imagination at work, the detonator triggering the explosion, and now add the fuel. Speak these declarations. Say them out loud if you can. Feel them as true. Big money explodes into my life now. I am a massive money magnet, and big money cannot resist me. Hundreds of thousands of dollars flow to me easily. Millions of dollars are finding their way to me now. My bank accounts overflow with more money than I can spend. I am wealthy beyond previous imagination. Abundance explodes in my experience, showering me with riches. Every channel of income is expanding exponentially. Money multiplies in my presence. I am the explosion of wealth that I've been waiting for. Feel these words land in your cells, programming your assumptions, establishing the new baseline from which your financial life will operate. The ignition has occurred. The explosion is underway. Every amount of money has a frequency. It is the actual nature of how consciousness interacts with physical reality. Your beliefs, emotions, and expectations emit a signal, a frequency that attracts corresponding experiences. The frequency of someone expecting to scrape by is different from the frequency of someone expecting comfort. And both are vastly different from the frequency of someone expecting explosion. Big money has a specific frequency signature, and you're about to learn it. The frequency of small money feels like relief. The electricity bill gets paid, the crisis is averted. There is a sense of having dodged disaster, of survival, of making it through another month. This frequency is tight, contracted, and focused on avoiding negative outcomes. The frequency of moderate money feels like comfort. Bills are handled with ease. There's some cushion, some breathing room. The feeling is more relaxed, but still bounded. There is enough, but enough has a ceiling. This frequency is stable but limited. The frequency of big money feels like overflow. There's so much more than enough that the concept of enough loses meaning. The feeling is expansive, generative, and creative. Money is not about survival or even comfort. It's about possibility, impact, and play. This frequency is boundless and radiating. Feel the difference between these frequencies in your body right now. Feel the contracted, tight sensation of relief-based survival money. Notice where that lives in your body. Probably in your gut, your chest, your shoulders. Notice how it makes you breathe. Now shift to the stable but bounded sensation of comfort money. Feel the relaxation, but also the ceiling. Notice how your body holds this differently. And now shift to the expansive, overflowing sensation of big money. Feel the boundlessness. Feel the radiation outward, the generosity that becomes possible when there is more than you could ever need. Notice how your body opens, how your breathing deepens, how your posture changes. This is the frequency signature of big money, the frequency you are installing as your new baseline. When you imagine big money, you're practicing this frequency. When you affirm big money, you are reinforcing this frequency. When you feel wealthy before the wealth manifests, you're broadcasting this frequency. And like attracts like. The universe is a frequency matching system. It delivers experiences that match your dominant signal. Broadcast the frequency of big money consistently, and big money experiences must appear in your reality. This is not belief, it's physics operating at the level where consciousness and matter interact. You are now a broadcast tower for the big money frequency. Every thought of abundance strengthens the signal. Every visualization of wealth clarifies the transmission. Every affirmation of explosion amplifies the broadcast. And somewhere, in the field of infinite possibility, big money is picking up your signal and beginning to move towards you. Once critical mass is achieved, the reaction sustains itself. This is the phase you're entering now, the phase where you no longer have to push, force, or strain for results. The explosion has its own momentum. Your job shifts from creating the reaction to allowing it to unfold. In practical terms, this means you begin to notice things. Opportunities appear with unusual frequency. Conversations that lead to unexpected openings. Information arriving at precisely the moment you need it. Money showing up through channels you did not anticipate, could not have planned, would not have believed if someone had predicted them. These are the chain reaction effects. Each event triggers the next. Each influx of wealth creates conditions for more wealth. The explosion is not a single boom. It's a cascade of detonations, each one enabling the ones that followed. Your role in this phase is to stay aligned and keep saying yes. Stay aligned by continuing your practice. Each day, spend time imagining the wealth. See yourself as you will be when the full manifestation has arrived. Feel the feelings of that version of you. Let your imagination dwell in the reality that is rapidly becoming physical. Each day, speak your affirmations. Reinforce the identity of someone to whom big money flows. Declare your abundance. Celebrate your wealth as if it were already complete, because in the dimension that matters, it is. Keep saying yes. By following the impulses that arise, the chain reaction will present opportunities, but opportunities require response. When something appears that aligns with your wealthy future, move toward it. When an idea strikes that could be a channel for abundance, act on it. When a door opens, walk through. The explosion is doing the heavy lifting. You simply need to cooperate with its unfolding. And here is something that will happen as the chain reaction accelerates. You will start to forget that you were ever worried about money. The old financial anxieties will feel like memories of someone else's life. The scarcity mindset that once gripped you will seem foreign, incomprehensible. You will wonder how you ever believed that struggle was necessary, that limitation was inevitable, that big money was for other people. This forgetting is a sign that the transformation is complete. Your identity has shifted at the deepest level. You're no longer someone trying to become wealthy. You are someone who is wealthy, experiencing the natural manifestation of that truth. Big money will use every available channel to reach you. This is important to understand because your logical mind wants to know how the explosion will happen. It wants to map the path, predict the source, control the process. And while there is nothing wrong with having goals and strategies, fixating on a single channel can actually limit the explosion. Let me tell you how big money actually arrives. For some, it arrives through business. A venture takes off, a product catches fire, a service fills a need that suddenly everyone recognizes. The business becomes a channel for explosive wealth, generating in months what previously took decades. For some, it arrives through a career, a promotion that leaps over several levels, an opportunity at a company that compensates at a completely different scale, a skill that becomes so valuable that the market bids up the price dramatically. For some, it arrives through investment, an asset that multiplies, a position taken at exactly the right moment, a portfolio that compounds past the point where the gains become life-changing. For some, it arrives through creation, an invention that solves a widespread problem, a piece of intellectual property that generates ongoing royalties, a creative work that captures the cultural moment and is rewarded accordingly. For some, it arrives through inheritance or gift, wealth transferred from someone who accumulated it, resources passed down through family, generosity from an unexpected source. For some, it arrives through what can only be called a miracle, money appearing with no logical explanation, windfalls that defy probability, checks arriving for forgotten work, debts being forgiven, opportunities materializing from thin air. All of these channels are available to you. The big money explosion does not prefer one path over another. It uses whatever channel is most open, most aligned, most ready to conduct the flow. Your job is to stay open to all channels. Do not decide in advance how the money must come. This limits the infinite creativity of abundance to the finite imagination of your current understanding. Instead, know that big money is coming and stay curious about how it will arrive. This openness is itself a form of faith. It says, I trust that the explosion is happening, and I trust that the perfect channel will be used. This trust removes resistance and allows money to flow through whatever opening presents itself. As you move through your days, stay alert. The channel might announce itself through a conversation, an idea, an invitation, or impulse. It might come as something you never considered or something you dismissed as impossible. Big money is creative. It will find a way, and often it will find multiple ways simultaneously. The explosion does not respect the limitations of single channels. It blasts through every opening at once, creating abundance from multiple directions until the convergence becomes overwhelming. This is what you're activating. Not a single stream of income, an explosion of streams, not one channel, every channel. Not gradual accumulation, sudden, overwhelming, irresistible arrival from all directions at once. Let me give you numbers to hold in your imagination. $1,000 is a single bill that fits in your pocket. $10,000 is a small stack, perhaps an inch thick. You could hold it in one hand. $100,000 is a brick of cash about the size of a paperback book. Still portable, still fits in a small bag. $1 million in $100 bills weighs about 20 pounds. It will fill a grocery bag. You could carry it, though it would be heavy, one bag. That is $1 million. $10 million fills a large suitcase. You could roll it through an airport if you had to. $100 million requires a pallet, industrial equipment to move it. $1 billion fills multiple pallets. You would need a warehouse. I want you to sit with these images. Feel the weight of the money. Feel the physical reality of these amounts. Let them become concrete in your imagination rather than abstract numbers that your mind glazes over. Now, ask yourself which of these amounts feels impossible for you. Notice where your mind creates resistance. Notice where the internal voice says, that's ridiculous, or that could never happen. That resistance is the edge of your current container, and that edge is precisely what we're dissolving. $100,000 bills exploding into your life. See it. Feel the reality of it. Know that this amount is absolutely possible for you, that people receive amounts like this all the time, regularly, through countless channels, and there is nothing special about them that makes them more deserving than you. $1 million exploding into your life, a grocery bag of cash, landing in your experience. See it happening. Feel the weight of it. Accept it as available, possible, and incoming. $10 million? $100 million? Let your imagination stretch to include these amounts, even if they feel absurd. The absurdity is just unfamiliarity. The feeling of impossibility is just a belief, and beliefs are changed through exposure and repetition. Your imagination is the training ground where you become comfortable with big money. The more vividly you can see it, feel it, and hold it in your mind, the more you signal to your subconscious that these amounts are acceptable, expected, and welcome. Now, an affirmation is not wishful thinking. It's applied neuroscience. When you speak a statement with conviction, you activate neural pathways associated with that statement. Repeat the statement, and those pathways strengthen over time. What began as a declaration becomes an assumption, a baseline belief from which you operate without conscious effort. This is how affirmations actually work. They're not magic words hoping to impress the universe. They are neurological rewiring tools, systematically replacing scarcity programming with abundance programming. And when affirmations are combined with the emotional state they describe, when you feel wealthy while declaring wealth, the rewiring happens faster and penetrates deeper. Here is a set of affirmations specifically designed to trigger big money explosion. These are not generic abundance statements. They are precision instruments targeting the specific experience of massive, sudden, explosive wealth. Say them with me. Use them daily. Speak them with conviction. Feel them as true while you say them. I am in the middle of a massive money explosion and I love it. Big money finds me irresistible and flows to me in overwhelming amounts. I am detonating decades of limitation in a single moment of transformation. 6 figures flow to me from unexpected sources this month. My wealth is exploding exponentially, multiplying faster than I can track. Every day brings new evidence of the big money explosion in my life. I release all caps on my income and watch the numbers soar past previous limits. I am a wealth explosion in human form, radiating prosperity in all directions. Money pours into my life in amounts that used to seem fictional. I am permanently locked into the frequency of massive abundance. The explosion has already happened. I am simply watching the results manifest. These words are detonation codes. Each one targets a specific aspect of the big money explosion and activates it in your consciousness. The more you use them, the more real they become. The more real they become, the more reality conforms to match them. This is the technology. It has always been the technology. The masters knew it, the scientists are confirming it, and now you are applying it with precision toward the biggest financial transformation of your life. As the explosion unfolds, evidence will begin to appear in your external reality. At first, the evidence might be subtle, small expected sum, a discount that saves more than usual, an opportunity that materializes without effort. These are the early tremors before the full earthquake, signs that the underground shift has begun. Welcome this, celebrate it, reinforce your expectation of more. Then the evidence will become less subtle, larger sums, bigger opportunities, developments that make you pause and wonder if you are dreaming. These are the visible results of the chain reaction accelerating. Receive this without surprise. You have been expecting it. You've been imagining it. You've been declaring it. Its arrival is confirmation, not shock. Let it land as the natural manifestation of who you are. And eventually, the evidence will be undeniable. The explosion will have fully manifested in your physical reality. Bank accounts will display numbers you once only imagined. Assets will accumulate that you once thought beyond your reach. Freedom will characterize your days in ways that struggle never permitted. At this point, the evidence is not proving anything to you. You already knew. The evidence is simply the physical world catching up to the quantum reality you established through imagination and declaration. This is the process, the arc, from internal shift to early tremors, accelerating evidence to full manifestation. You're somewhere on this arc now, and every moment of alignment moves you further along. There's one more element required to make the explosion permanent: identity lock. The explosion becomes who you are, not just something that happened to you. Your self-concept must update to match your new reality, or the old identity will slowly pull you back to its familiar set point. This is the final piece. You are someone to whom big money has exploded. Let this become part of how you define yourself. When you think about your financial identity, see the explosion, the aftermath, as fundamental, irreversible, and wealthy. You are someone for whom massive wealth is normal. The numbers that once seemed extraordinary now seem ordinary. Simply the natural financial reality of someone like you. Large sums don't excite you excessively because they are not anomalies. They are the baseline. You are someone who expects ongoing explosions. The first one was not a fluke. It was the beginning of a pattern. Big money will continue to explode into your life because that is what big money does for someone with your frequency, your alignment, your identity. This identity lock is not arrogance, not delusion. It's the practical installation of a new operating system that maintains the conditions for continuous abundance rather than reverting to scarcity defaults. When you look in the mirror, see a wealthy person looking back. When you make decisions, make them as a wealthy person would. When you speak about your life, speak as someone for whom big money explosions is an established fact. The external explosion has occurred. Now the internal identity catches up, and once it does, the transformation is complete. Gratitude is the amplifier that multiplies the effect of everything else. So feel grateful now. When you feel genuine appreciation for the wealth that is exploding into your life, even before it manifests, you accelerate the manifestation. Gratitude is not just a nice sentiment. It's the creative force that attracts more of what you are grateful for. So you're grateful. Grateful for the explosion that has already begun in the quantum realm, for the chain reaction that is building, for the channels, known and unknown, through which big money is flowing, for your expanded container that can receive whatever arrives, for the imagination that lets you see your wealth before it manifests, for the affirmations that are rewiring your neurology, for this moment, this activation, this turning point in your story. Let the gratitude fill you. Let it radiate from your chest. Be grateful for big money. Be grateful as someone who has already made it. Be grateful with the sincerity of one who knows they are blessed. I'm going to ask you to make a declaration. This declaration is the seal on everything that has been activated. It's the statement that locks in the explosion, that confirms the transformation, that announces to every level of your being that the shift has occurred. Say this out loud right now with me. Let your voice carry the conviction. Say it as loud as you can. Let your body feel the truth of it. The big money explosion has happened. I am standing in the aftermath of the most significant financial transformation of my life. Everything has changed. My beliefs have changed. My identity has changed. My energetic frequency has changed. My receptivity has changed. I am now someone to whom big money flows continuously, abundantly, and explosively. The channels are open. The reaction is self-sustaining. The manifestation is assured. I see my wealth clearly in my imagination. And I know that what I see is coming, is already here in the dimension that matters. I speak my wealth with conviction, and I know that my words are creating the reality they describe. I am grateful for the explosion. I am grateful for the abundance. I am grateful for the life that is unfolding from this moment forward. Big money has exploded into my life. Big money continues to explode into my life. Big money will always explode into my life. This is who I am now. This is my new normal. It is done. Something has shifted. You can feel it. A setting, a landing, new weight in your being. The activation has penetrated. The explosion has been initiated. The chain reaction is underway. From this moment forward, you move through your life differently. You see opportunities you would have missed before. You speak about money with a confidence you may not have had. You expect big things because you have become someone for whom big things are natural. The imagination practice is your daily maintenance, the ongoing detonation of images that keep the explosion alive and growing. The affirmation practice is your fuel supply, the continuous provision of energy to the reaction. Together, imagination and affirmation sustain what has been started today. They are not optional extras. They are the core practices that the masters have always used to shape reality according to your inner vision. Now you are using them with the specific intention of explosive wealth manifestation. Big money is explosive by nature. It does not trickle, it detonates. And you have just become a detonation zone. Everything is in place. In the days and weeks ahead, stay awake to what is happening. Notice the early evidence, the small synchronicities, the unexpected amounts, the doors opening. These are the first tremors of the explosion making itself known. As the evidence grows, and it will grow, receive it without surprise. You've been preparing for this. And when the full manifestation arrives, when the numbers exceed what you once dared to dream, when the abundance overwhelms your old sense of what is possible, receive it with the grace of one who always knew it was coming. You did not find this activation by accident. You were guided here because you are ready. Ready for the explosion, ready for the transformation, ready for the big money that has been seeking you just as you have been seeking it. The seeking is over. The explosion has begun. Now let it transform everything. Now, to aid you in your big money journey, I invite you to join the Reality Revolution community. You can find the link in the description. It's at school.com, www.skool.com/reality revolution. This is a community where I provide exclusive content, additional programs and training materials. We have a mastermind on a weekly basis and an incredible community that works together to help speed up your manifestation and make it possible. Now is the time to join us. If you're ready for the big money, join us now. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. Be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel, The Brian Scott Musical Experience. I have new videos coming out all the time. Music I'm really proud of. Be sure to check out my art. You can find it at www.newearth.art. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.